We're back here, headed down to Printers Row. Sorry, I need to edit some things real quick. Let's see here. We want live replays. We want people to be able to chat. I want to be able to make a little bit of money. All right, I think that we're ready to go. We're just a couple of blocks north of Printers Row. So we'll walk down to Printers Row. We're on Dearborn, so we're on the same street as the festival. Folks, I know that in the last live, right, we had a little bit of activity near the org. We had a little bit of activity near the org. And then we decided, I decided, we'd head out to the Air and Water Show. And we didn't see anybody there, but hopefully everybody enjoyed the airplanes. We saw the Blue Angels, and we saw another plane that was taking some pretty cool low-level turns out over the lake. We saw them kind of go through the buildings. Now we're here at Monroe. We're heading south. We're, let's see. Monroe is, I like when people kind of give me the dirty look there and they don't realize that I've got their license plate on live as they cut me off in a pedestrian path. So this morning, the shades never went up. We saw a couple of Scientologists come in right near the time for 9:30 when the org opens. Saw a couple of publics, asked the questions. Nobody answered the questions. We had a lot of conversations with students and neighbors. We got reactions from students and neighbors. Then in the afternoon, howdy Lady E. What time is it over in South Africa? As we opened up the lunchtime show, we saw one of the Scientologists heading back to their berthing, which is not right across from the street, right across from the org. And then we saw the Way to Happiness person out with her uniform on. She had the green scrubs for her bottoms, the white t-shirt for Way to Happiness, and a white ball cap, as well as the green satchel, which she would have had an awful lot of Way to Happiness flyers in there. Had some conversations with people that were returning to school, handed out the card to several people. Sorry, I grabbed a Gatorade in between shows so I can get a little bit of hydration in. Coming up on the Monadnock building, the world's first skyscraper. It's an entirely masonry building. So at the bottom, the walls are very thick in order to support, what is that? 13 floors, maybe? Any of you is allowed to take a screenshot and count those floors. I'm going to try and cross the street real quick. Here we're coming past Optimo. These are all handmade hats. Here's the felt hats. We saw the straw hats in that other window. Hey, lady. You know, I did, after I left the air show, between these last two shows, I think that I will do the Windy Wanders tomorrow. I think that I'll just try to, I might know some people that have good rooftop locations so I can keep it plugged in the whole time. Excuse me. And then I'll be able to just broadcast the air show, which will be, will not be a Windy Wanders. It will be a Windy Watches the City. Hey, howdy, Groovy. So we're heading down Dearborn Street. We're a couple of blocks north of the Art Festival. The Art Festival should still be going on. I'm going to go through there and then head over to the org. I've been away from the org for what, maybe 2 hours at this point? So they may feel comfortable. They might have brought the blinds down, or blinds up, sorry. We should be able to see that fairly quickly. Hey, I know there's a lot of shows. It's probably getting busy out in LA at this point. I appreciate that you're spending time here. I will say that we have not seen any really successful body routing in quite some time. I think that part of it is they're probably getting in trouble when I capture this stuff on film. So they may be told, do not pass stuff out when I'm around. Again, I don't mean to sound like I'm an arrogant person. It's bad press for them, for people to see that, hey, Scientologists are passing out this propaganda. I go up and I say 3 statements to them, and they give me the propaganda, right? I'm gonna dump my garbage off real quick here. And you know, I have no knowledge of this. I have to make guesses because it turns out Scientology isn't going to really tell me what their plan is. Thank you, Gen X. And I do think that it is making a difference. I have several people who have reached out and said that, hey, thank you, I didn't know that. That we've had people tell me, you know, thank you for telling me this. Whether I hand them the card or just give them the information. Neighbors telling me, hey, I really appreciate that you're out here. Today, this morning, we would have seen several people having given me some form of statement that, you know, thank you for all you're doing out here. Most of the people in the neighborhood realize the dangers of this cult, and you know, they're happy that I'm out trying to make it difficult for them to recruit new people. Sorry, I was just going through all the chats. Lady E's almost on Sunday. And I'm sure that we burned up, we probably won't get a big crowd in here. I'm sure that I burned up notifications throughout the day. Plus, how many times can somebody come back to this channel? I appreciate that you do. And I do love that we do have plenty of loyal viewership. So now we're down to Dearborn. And this is the art festival. Remember, the stage is up here. So I kind of talk through this. Yeah, that I will say that the encouragement or acknowledgement of the work, just like with you, when you guys give me likes, when you guys show up, when you guys are subscribing, I feel like, listen, what I'm doing has a positive effect. That, you know, my goal isn't to help most of you in the channel, but it's to show you in the channel that there is work being done out here, and you're watching me do this work makes me feel good about what I'm doing. Now, me stopping them from recruiting also makes me feel good about what I'm doing. Oh, this is beautiful. Hey, Granny G.
You're like, I'm manifesting. It's like, actually.
Now I'm just kind of looking around here. Looking to see if they're over here. Now, I don't know if they would get kicked out of here or not. My guess is that the people who run this show don't want people throwing propaganda out here, right? That most of these people, all of these people spent money to put a booth up here. So there's the mechanism that says, wait, these people paid to be here. I can't let you be in here for free, passing out your information, whether or not they believe in it or believe in the information or not. My expectation is that the people that run this festival don't want people in here passing out propaganda. Now, I am looking not only for the people themselves, but oftentimes I'll see their flyers on a table or on the vendors, like near their register, stuff like that. So that's another non-art, that was NRG, which is a place that allows you to choose where you source your energy from here in Illinois. Now in Illinois, the transmission is owned by ComEd, so you got to pay ComEd to transmit your electricity, but you can choose whether or not you want nuclear, wind, or coal-fired power. Yeah, we're definitely not seeing, I'm not seeing anything in here that gives me any evidence that Scientology was in here today. But now we'll head over to the org. I think that he's singing in Spanish. Sun's coming down hard right now. Just a reminder, if you're in, please like, subscribe. Check your subscriptions. Every once in a while, if you're not interacting or for reasons beyond my understanding, YouTube will unsubscribe you. It's actually pretty rare that people actively unsubscribe. It more often happens that YouTube, for whatever reason, you know, hey, you haven't been on this, you haven't gone and visited this channel in a while, or you don't interact with this channel. So I'm going to unsubscribe you just to see if it bothers you. So now we're over to Clark Street. Just a reminder that I've got the business cards. I'm looking down towards the org and I'm not seeing any activity, but I don't have a good view of it right now. So we're heading up Clark Street. I saw somebody walk across the street and walk in the door, but I think it was Paisans. That situational awareness actually bothers me. Don't those people know that they're standing all the way across the sidewalk? Sorry, I'm being petty. Again, I've been away from the org for a while, so maybe they've had the courage to open up their retail spot to the rest of the world. I'm going to make sure that we fix that very quickly. Yeah, so they're wide open. So here we've got the young guy at the desk, right? He's not really paying attention to anything that's going on up here. I don't see anybody in the cafeteria here. Do your parents know where you're at? Does the church let you talk about the church? Can you read books that aren't associated with the church? Yeah, the cult has to hide from the public, right? They've got to take the shades down so that people can't see them, right? So this is how a cult reacts, right? We've got to hide from the public. We don't want to let the public see our cultic behavior. Rachel, this is a mediocre day. There have been days where by the time I walk up here, they're already walking halfway up from the desk. But good to see you, Rachel. This poor fella, right? Black sweatshirt or black sweater all day long on these hot days. So, yep, the cult's got to hide from public. Got to hide all of our stuff from the public. We don't want the public to see how the cult reacts. Yep. So remember, Scientology doesn't stand up to the light of day. They need to hide from the public. The truth is something that they can't stand up to. Yeah, you can't handle the truth. How you doing? Anything positive to share about your church? My audience is very curious to understand why people come in here. By the way, I'm going to go with the answer was no. She has nothing positive to share about the church. I am somewhat concerned still, right? I haven't found the lady that was earlier dressed up in the Way to Happiness outfit. Gen X, we're going to do all the movie lines, aren't we? Should women be able to report crimes against them when they're committed by members of this church? Why is Danny Masterson still a member of this church? Having raped 3 women in this church, the 3 women were excommunicated from the church when they came forward. Danny Masterson, serving 30 years to life, still a member in good standing. So I think this is where we should spend our money, right? We're saving the earth, clearing the planet, right? That's where your money goes. If you're not against human trafficking, you're for human trafficking. United States Army, what a disgrace. What a disgrace. Have you noticed that when I show up, your church has to hide from the public? Has to pull all the shades down? You're okay with the stolen valor of the Sea Org, of L. Ron Hubbard, pretending to be a military genius? He attacked a log in the Pacific Ocean. He bombed a magnetic land area in the Pacific Ocean. You know, I think that you guys can get better camera pictures here, right? So I think that you guys are getting a much clearer picture, so we might be able to do reverse photo on this. $650 South Clark Street, right? 650 South Clark.
Oh yeah, 650.
Yep.
Oh yeah, they're all.
Yeah.
Hope he finds me.
Howdy, Karen. All right. Why was he just responding to that question, but he's okay with the rest of the cultic behavior of this church? Yeah, you know, that they hide things so they don't hide them well. They obfuscate a lot of the information about this church, right? That the vast majority of people come in here don't know that they've come into the Church of Scientology. This past week, you saw that the person bought the Dianetics book. When he came out, I kind of confronted him a little bit, and he was shocked. He said, yeah, this, you know, I'd mentioned a few of the child abuse elements. And he was like, this organization does that? I said, yes. And then he looked up and he goes, Scientology. And it's like, he didn't know he was in Scientology. Last week we saw the body rodder bring somebody in, and they didn't know that they were walking into Scientology, right? So they can't advertise on their merit, right? Let me head up to the corner here real quick. I'm going to see if I can peek around back.
They come in for lunch.
I'm going to say that it's highly unlikely that that guy that just came out was in chat. him, yeah, there are days where I regret that I gave my channel such a long name. It's very unlikely that anybody in that org knows my channel name. And that's the first time I've ever seen that person. Hello, just me. Is that just you? The car that I saw from Florida is still here today. As I mentioned, it's got a sticker on its windshield hanging from the mirror that says August 24th, I believe. So it looks like they have access to be in the garage through the 24th. Yeah, we're seeing no activity right here in the alley. We saw that the dumpster was locked earlier. The chain was drawn across there. Thank you for coming in, just me. So we've kind of had a mixed bag today. We've seen the Blue Angels fly over Lake Michigan and through the buildings of Chicago. We've seen that there were body routers ready to go out here in Printers Row. I never saw them actually out and about. They went in the back door and they disappeared. Now, again, they could have gone out in the alley. They could have then walked westward. They haven't done that in the past, but again, we never know if they're getting smarter or not getting smarter in that space. Something that would be helpful, the more people that we could get out here to help protest, it would be advantageous, right? The idea that says we can cover more ground. You can see the long-haired dachshund coming up. See, he's still walking. Huh?
We saw you earlier.
Yes, yes. You can't stop protesting the cult. Are you okay that women can't report crimes against them by members of this church? Is it okay that Danny Masterson's a member in good standing and yet he raped 3 of these women? Do you know who this is?
I know.
Okay. So we've got some staff members coming down the street. That most likely was a public coming in to do a course of some sort. Again, I don't know what courses are on offer here. They have to be pretty clear, right? Oh, this is the first time I've seen this guy in a suit. Normally he's had the red t-shirt. We've got Nico. Nico changed his shirt. Or Nino. Anything positive to share about your church? It's nice that you've changed your shirt again. Not doing the Dianetics, now you're doing the Curious About Scientology. How's your cult doing today? I think that I'll be able to get better facial recognition on these images today. At least this feels better. So the public, his name is Eric. Don't ever go in there.
Yeah, don't plan on it. Because they built it right next to the freshman
Yes.
dorms for our university.
They
It's
did.
kind of crazy.
I do hate that. So before, at least you would have turnover of sophomores, juniors, seniors being able to help. Anything positive to say about your church? Nothing positive about your cult? So they're not allowed to talk about their church either. And it's very dangerous. Like if you go in there ever, it's very innocuous. You'll see these, oh, look, they're trying to save the world and all these nice things. But then you find out that everything you do in there, you have to spend money on.
Yeah.
That everything is that. Then you've got the human trafficking, the child abuse. Danny Masterson, do you know him?
No.
So he was that 70s show star.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He's a member in good standing. He's in jail right now for life with chance of parole after 30 years. He raped 3 of their members. Those 3 members, when they told the police, they were excommunicated from the church. Danny Masterson is still in good standing.
Oh. Yeah. They would pay some of the students to like come in and like hand out flyers inside the building. Which
Yes.
is crazy.
Yep.
Insane. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for what
No
you
problem.
do.
If you ever want to look up more information,
Yeah. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Have a
Thanks,
good
guys.
one.
I appreciate it. Children can't consent. You know that. Is it okay that women can't report abuses against them in this church? Danny Masterson raped 3 women in this church, and he's still a member in good standing. That is pathetic that people would bring their child into the, and I don't know that that's their child. I'm making an assumption. But there is a child in that group of 3 people. And I'm going to make another assessment that I do not believe, I believe that child has learning disabilities. Hello, Marina. So there must be course starting sometime soon. I think that we saw that from Michael said that it was somewhere after 3:15. Yeah, you heard that, right? That they do pay students. Now, they also, they'll pay people, they'll hire people an hourly wage to do the Way to Happiness flyers, the Dianetics flyers. So when they need extra people, they'll spend money to hire people to say, hey, will you stand on this street corner and pass this out for the next few hours? But he absolutely did say, right, that that Scientology has paid students in that dormitory. And hopefully, if you heard that, that's great. And I do have the body cam on, so I should be able to pick that up clearer. Folks, I need to get better about doing the promotion of the channel. I need to do shorts more often. The short that we have out there right now is doing very, very well. Lady E, you have a great night. Hopefully you're not in a place where the rolling blackouts are too much. A little while ago, right, we saw 2 males enter. One of them was in the nice staff suit. Anything positive to share about your church? Yeah, so South Africa has problems generating enough electricity. They consume more than they can generate. So the way that they mitigate that is they'll do rolling blackouts. Different areas of the country or cities will go through, several hour periods of no electricity. Now, in order to remedy that, if you're well-to-do or if you're a commercial business, you might have a diesel generator or something like that that'll kick in when that occurs. So the Scientologist, I don't know if he went into Dunkin' or if he went into Subway, but he should be back pretty soon. You know, that, thank you. That is a good, I should put that out there as well. I know that there's a longer form that's out there. But again, that just shows the class of people that walk in here, right? That I am that father. I am, you know, I'm the dad. I am that father. No problem. Howdy, Papa. Marina, they're talking about the person last Sunday. There was a couple that came out here. So the actual country of South Africa is what we were speaking about earlier. There was a couple that came down here, and they first kind of needled Korn and said, "Hey, Korn, it looks like you need some help. Maybe you should go get some Scientology." And then their statement was, "What's wrong with the cult?" Well, Korn didn't really have an answer to what's wrong with the cult, but when he asked me what's wrong with the cult, I said, "Well, nothing if you're okay with human trafficking and child abuse." And his response was, "I have a child and they're not abused." It's like, okay, wait. So the claim is, if your child's not abused, then it's okay if they abuse others in that space. Then he went walking around for a little over an hour. It was a couple. They went walking around for about an hour. When they came back, Korn and Juanita told them about the Bob Ferris story, right? The idea that the family had been told their father's dead. And then months ago, the father shows up and, oh my gosh, my dad's alive. And the guy just kind of joking, "Oh yeah, I did that. I'm the dad," right? And again, just that idea that says, I think it's funny that the cult of Scientology would lie about a father being dead. Oh, I think you're absolutely correct on that, Cher, right? One thing I just want to remind everybody, I believe that the vast majority of people in this building are victims. I do not think that these are evil people. I think that they've fallen prey to an evil belief. They've been sucked into something at a bad time in their life, or they were born into it. You know, I don't think there's a lot of multi-gens in here. Yeah, I did. Well, I saw him going to a different church. He went into a massive Catholic church, and then he said he was heading to the Celebrity Center, but I didn't see that yet. Folks, did I send that clip to Natalie, the jerk who made fun of the Bob Ferris story? There's two SUVs behind me parked, and I can't tell if they're waiting to come in here or if they're going to go to the pizza place.
What?
Huh?
What?
Yeah, a little bit. I used to play when I was over in South Africa. Yeah, I can't tell. I'm trying to pick up on the conversation that's going on behind me. They might be here for like a birthday celebration or a party or something, because they said, "Hey, don't tell so-and-so we're here." Yeah, Papa, sometimes on the lives, what I've been doing lately is I've been setting it to let YouTube put in the most conservative, the most conservative ads. My hope is they're all skippable. I really can't tell what's going on behind me. Now, There is a staff member who's out, who's down at either the Subway or the Dunkin', probably the Subway. And he'll have to come back eventually. Sorry, Freebird, thank you very much. And I apologize for miscommunicating that. Now, I'll say that the principle of the story is still bad. That, that she was told her father was dead, and the way that she found out, so Freebird's, got that, thank you for reminding me, it was that Liz got a call saying, hey, we need a freeloader debt paid here. There's somebody's behind on money. So, and that was the first incident, the idea that says, well, wait, if my father's dead, why do you care about collecting money on his courses, right? So thank you for that correction. It actually feels nice out here right now. It's very cool. The shades, right, we're in the shade on this building. This sun is mostly reflection off of the Imprint building. Yeah, I'll consider putting that in there. I think, for the most part, my mic is pretty good at isolating the sound, right? It's only when the volume goes through the roof, like when we're next to the band stage over there. And then the time that I got in trouble in front of Half Sour, I typically use a directional DJI mic, and that is able to isolate the sound to just me. But when the mic goes dead, and again, now I can actually charge it. I've got two of them, so I'm charging one while I'm playing with it. That when I'm using just the phone's mic itself, it's not a directional mic, so it's picking up all the sound. And that was when I got caught with I got a copyright. It's not a copyright strike. It's a demonetization element on there. Howdy, Kathy. Oh my gosh, Freebird has mastered time travel. Freebird's a day ahead of us already. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, it really isn't your father that calls you for money. What it is Scientology knows your whole family tree and your whole family lineage. That's why they try to get so much information on you. And when you can no longer pay, they're going to go down the family tree to say, hey, let's go see if we can squeeze money out of so-and-so, right? And whether or not it's a freeloader debt or if it's just, behind on their course money in that space. Hey, Juju. Actually got quite a bit of traffic coming down the street right now. just remember, I'm not a big fan of putting everybody on camera. The people in the neighborhood didn't ask for Scientology to come here. Now, remember, by the way, I could be wrong about the idea that he's still in. You can get a freeloader debt when you move from being Sea Org to just staff or just public. You still have to pay that freeloader debt. Because remember, Aaron paid his freeloader debt. He left Sea Org before he left Scientology. And folks, a lot of times I'm going off of my recollection, and sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, but thankfully I've got a pretty active chat, and they remind me when I'm being a bunkhead. Yeah, Alex has been doing a great job over there in Europe. I loved when he went to kind of protest at the org boy, that seems like it's 4 months ago now. But also I know that he had done a couple of shows on the Olympics and Tom Cruise. Hello, L. Ron Liar. Oh, Frio. I'm sorry, Freebird, about that score that we just saw about rugby. I will say that my wife is very passionate, and she still speaks Afrikaans as her native tongue. She speaks English very well. But when I'm watching rugby with her, I'll say, hey, what happened there? And she'll explain it to me in Afrikaans, fully not realizing that I can speak 3 words in Afrikaans. So I still don't really know what the rules of rugby are, but I do know that it was a huge, they won, what is it, World Cup, I think? So they were the World Cup champs this past year. They lost to France in the early rounds, but then France lost in the semis. Mark Bunkhead, nice. And I can use self-deprecating humor on occasion. So today has been, I'll say, oddly active. That we've seen several Scientologists. I would say this is nowhere near as many people as we saw last week. Last week, on Saturday, we saw a ton more people than we did this week. Now, we've been able to pull the shades down a couple of times today, that when I leave the organization for a period of time, they feel very safe. Are you allowed to talk about the church? If you're not allowed to talk about the church, you're not free. It's not the bridge to total freedom. And thank you, me and Taz. And I do rely upon a lot of you, right? We know that there are some exes or formers.
Yeah, I did not expect that.
Howdy. No, you're fine. People always apologize walking in front of us, but no. Yeah, that's funny, Kathy. All right, that's a clip for Natalie tomorrow. Natalie, we found your donuts. Folks, did talk to Free Zunu Project today. He's just been under the weather, so that's kind of what's been keeping him out of the protesting realm for a little bit. You know, there have been people, we've had some attrition here in Chicago, and then there's some people that have been silenced, right? That the legal battles have created a gag order for some of the protesters, which still boggles my mind, that the idea that there's a gag order against talking about the church when the person that claims they were assaulted is just a citizen of the area, not the church. The church has nothing to do with this particular court case. However, Joe Cicala inserts himself into it. He's been talking to the state's attorney. He shows up at all these trials. He's not an attorney of standing in any of this work. Yes, sure. Gosh darn it, Aaron. Let me see if I can zoom in there. Yeah. So there's two things, right? It's either the poop emoji or it's the idea that, yes, we are a pyramid scheme. Right? If you don't believe me, look right here. Nice. Thanks, Adam. You know, I was listening to again, just an old radio broadcast of the history of L. Ron Hubbard and when he was in Africa. So if people don't know, there was a guy in South Africa, I think it was Paul Rhodes, but his last name was Rhodes. And he tried to kind of develop his own part of his own country for the most part, we'll say. Well, South Africa didn't really like that.
And you guys are amazing. Oh my God. That was so cute.
So South Africa didn't like it so much, so they sent him north. And the country of Rhodesia is named after Paul Rhodes, which Rhodesia at some point in its history was changed names, and it is now Zimbabwe. Oh, thank you, Cecil Rhodes. Thank you. But what they compared L. Ron Hubbard to Cecil Rhodes. So Cecil Rhodes was very much despised in South Africa. They sent him north, and he basically created a country out of it. And South Africa has had issues with some of their politicians, let's say, being fascist and, let's see here, feeling third world-ish. And South Africa was basically a Western European country for the longest time. They have some of the most incredible, this was during the time of apartheid, they had to learn to be self-sufficient, but their medical ability is incredible. The first open heart surgery was in South Africa. They still have incredibly great hospitals and schools, medical schools. Had a bridal party just come by. But they've just had some trouble with, let's say, grift in the governmental area. So. Yeah, that the idea that this religion cult, 1952? So, there are people that would be old enough to still be alive, and some are in and some are out. Some people are still in and some people are out, but that knew L. Ron Hubbard. Janice, right, peeling the onion. I don't know if Mark Fisher, but Janice was Guardian's office, so she knew L. Ron Hubbard, not intimately always, but she had a fairly, she had a daily relationship with the guy when she was on the ships. just had the mail dropped off. This is interesting.
It's a haul. Well, I'll say this though about our current and our prior.
There's a limo here. Want to keep it above the civilians real quick, but if you can see in the mirror, right, there's a limo there with a Muslim-looking fella. Can't tell if he's dropping the guy off at the church or if the guy's going to other bars, but we'll see. Yeah, eventually, every country wanted L. Ron Hubbard out, right? That the reason that these ships existed was that he had, he was no country for L. Ron Hubbard type element. So, England, Scotland, most of Asia, Tunisia, Libya, the Caribbean islands. They just all eventually kicked him out. They didn't want him. And he was one of those people that he liked you for as long as you were useful to him. But as soon as you became unuseful to him, he would turn pretty quickly on you. But the boats were basically so that he could be 12 miles offshore at all times and therefore not in anybody's jurisdiction. So he was able to stay outside of everybody's territorial waters. Got a couple puppies coming by. Okay. Adam, thank you very much for that information as well. There's a lot of people that think that this is a U.S. religion. This cult has strong footholds in South Africa, in Australia, right? That Miriam Francis, Mike Rinder, having both come from Australia. Then you've got Taiwan, which Taiwan politically is supposed to be part of China, but typically Taiwan says they're their own country. Taiwan has a heavy presence. Sorry, I saw some people behind here looking up there. Oh, am I a bad channel person? Did somebody give subs that I didn't see? It's one of the challenges that I have on the YouTube variant. Is if you watch YouTube, then I can't mark messages as well, and I don't get the history of them. Streams are made for puppies. Puppies make every stream better. Congratulations, Freebird. Welcome in. And again, thank you for whoever donated. I apologize that it went past me faster than I saw. Oh, L. Ron Pantsifier has all the emojis. Thank you, L. Ron. I really appreciate that. So now you get to, we talked about We did talk about it earlier, right? That Chadwick Burke, he's the one that's related to boobtology, and so we just had probably a public. The woman in the green top just came out. They do try to direct them away from me when possible.
I know we've been around, no? Which one?
Or she seems to be coming up this way now.
It's on the way.
Yeah.
We don't want to leave you. We're kind of following you for as long as we can.
Howdy, Indigo. We did see a little bit of the air and water show today. Got quite a few people walking down the street. Sorry, I've got you up in the air. Let's look at the Scientology sign. Let you know where we're at.
And I think that there's a lot of things where it's just like, I say that is 2 trips, to be honest. You know? Like, as in, like, over and then back. Do you want me to go over 2 or 3 small suitcases? How will you manage?
Thank you, Israel. Anything positive to share about your church? Is there nothing positive about your cult? Thanks, Indigo. I have to start using more lines because, again, that if I don't repeat them, if I don't do my TRs, I don't recall them and they don't come out as smoothly. And I have to be able to go so quickly. Bridge, I don't know that answer. Fuzzy might be a little bit more helpful. Yeah, he and Bota were fairly good friends right up until they weren't. And when wait, who was the last apartheid? Was de Klerk the last apartheid, or was Bota the last apartheid? But whoever the last apartheid leader was, Elron was in close with him. But then when he stopped allowing Elron to run roughshod over things, he kind of Elron turned on him and he turned on Elron. Again, it's just the idea that says, if you'll help me, I'll be your friend. But if you're not going to help me, I'm not going to be your friend. Thank you, Frio. And again, that was a long time ago for me. That I can't remember those things. Now, I will say that I was. Thanks, Adam. Hello, hammock lady. So far today, it's been a rather long day. Got out here about 8:30, 9 o'clock. We saw them kind of open up the org. They never raised the blinds while I was out here early on. We found out that there was a festival over on Dearborn Street in Printers Row. It was the art festival. I did not see anybody in there. They didn't have any tables there, so they didn't pay for any tables. And I did not see anybody passing out flyers in the festival. Then we went over to the Air and Water Show. Didn't really see anybody over there as well, but we did see some planes and jets. Howdy. When I came back at lunchtime, we did see one of the staff members. They were going into a different berthing than across the street. There are several apartments in the area that I know where Scientologists reside. I tend not to show that on film. If I come across it by chance, great. But I don't want anybody to think I never follow a Scientologist unless they have propaganda. If they have propaganda, I want everybody to know I'm following the propaganda. I'm not following the person. The reason that we do see that I'll track people that go across the street is that there are people that live in this building. And it's no secret they live in there, and the idea that it would be easy. I don't have to follow somebody to show that they live right across the street here. What else did we see today? We did see the Way to Happiness recruiter out, but as soon as we saw her, she immediately, so we saw her on this side of the street. She actually ran down to the end of the street, she ran to the alley, and she ran up the alley to the back door. Haven't seen her since, right? Now, she might have come out when I went over to the Air and Water show, but we didn't see her at all earlier today. I think that they try to get as far away from me as possible. And again, that's that call that I've continually been telling everybody that if you can, please come out here, right? If there's more than one person, if somebody's looking at the front door, then I can kind of watch the back door. Yeah, there is no reason to be afraid of us, other than the fact that Scientology has told them that we are criminals, that we're dangerous, that we're the devil incarnate. Yes, no electricity for you, Israel. We saw this gentleman come from, right, so he's going to head over to Imprint. He's new, right? Don't recognize him. This is a new character unlock. Now, when you talk about 6 to 9 people and in a given room, that's just ridiculous, right? The idea of privacy just gone. All right, folks. It is now coming on 4:30. I've been out here for quite some time today. I think I'm gonna go home and do some family time. I might be here on this channel tomorrow, but I'm really comfortable that I think I'm gonna go over to the Air and Water show on Windy Wanders the City. Now again, if I see anything while I'm out there, I'll go live very quickly. So definitely make sure that you're subscribed here, that you got the notifications turned on. When I come out here on during weekday time, I come out here when I get a chance to. I can't really schedule those in advance. So please try to make sure that you've got your notifications and the bell turned on. Yes, let's go find Miss Kim. Believe Miss Kim is down in Austin. Excellent, Indigo. Yes. I'll take you up on that offer. We'll go get something to eat. Thank you, Grammy. I really appreciate that. I think I told you yesterday, but one of my close friends, they've got twin daughters, 6-year-olds, and they love the book that you wrote. So if you don't know, Grammy G is an author. And I keep on saying paleontologist, but I don't think that's actually the title. All right, let's head over to Miss Kim, let them know Wendy sent you, and I will see you all in just a few minutes.